Because what's been happening lately is something that should make anyone nervous, whether you love Trump or you can't stand him. We've had a growing trend where single district court judges, sometimes in a handful of political hotspots, can issue these sweeping nationwide injunctions that basically freeze an elected president's policies for the entire country. Not for the people suing, not for the state involved, for everyone, everywhere, immediately. That's not a small technicality, that's a power shift. That's a shadow veto. And today, the Supreme Court put serious limits on that. Now, there's a second layer to the story: birthright citizenship. And I'm going to be precise here because precision matters. The court's ruling is mostly about the court system's power and how injunctions are used, not the final constitutional decision on birthright citizenship itself. But this ruling opens the lane for the administration to move forward, and it signals a big change in how the executive branch can actually function.
The court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law in striking down the excessive use of nationwide injunctions to interfere with the normal functioning of the executive branch. The Supreme Court has stopped the presidency itself. That's what they've done. And really, it's been an amazing period of time this last hour. There are people elated all over the country. I've seen such happiness and spirit. Sometimes you don't see that, but this case is very important. I was elected on a historic mandate, but in recent months we've seen a handful of radical left judges effectively try to overrule the rightful powers of the president to stop the American people from getting the policies that they voted for in record numbers. It was a grave threat to democracy, frankly, and instead of merely ruling on the immediate cases before them, these judges have attempted to dictate the law for the entire nation. In practice, this meant that if any one of the nearly 700 federal judges disagreed with the policy of a duly elected president of the United States, he or she could block that policy from going into effect, or at least delay it for many years, tie it up in the court system. This was a colossal abuse of power which never occurred in American history prior to recent decades, and we've been hit with more nationwide injunctions than were issued in the entire 20th century together. Think of it, more than the entire 20th century, me. I'm grateful to the Supreme Court for stepping in and solving this very, very big and complex problem, and they've made it very simple.